The Ukwuani trumpet man asked me a question during this interview that do we have boundary with the people of Umuebu? It was based on that I answered based on the document, the 1988 Gazette, Bender State of Nigeria, 1988 Gazette. That is the law. I'm talking law. I'm not talking about natural boundaries. So I did not incite war, and I am not intending to incite war.
They are trying to create a kingdom inside the kingdom, and that is what can spark off even war at any time.
Obodo dịta bebe n'ụkwanụ na-apụsa na-ekwusi kenye bụ okewe achịrị chairman kwusi kete so na-akpa asawe ncha ka anyị na-ebanye n'okwu ka
Asukwan benani kwani trumpet nekenunu kete anyị kwani trumpet anyị n'Obiaruku atu ni mani okwani ebe ka adị ni Obiaruku adị ni okwani local government secretariat ni imani okwani ajaji karishina anyị dị n'ebe adị n'ebe maka na anyị ncha onye ọbụla bụ onye okwani o maruo ife na-agani n'efufu n'eshoge ndana beni Eziokpor Umukwata Umuebu na Obiaruku ajaji ishoku onye ọbụla efunu ife ndano onwe nọdị sefajika efojika soenene maka ni ke o maruo ife ndano so onwe ne ife ndozo no wese bụ kete ka onye bụ local government chairman ya bụ onye ka ọdụ n'ime ọchịchị Ukwuani bụ onye bụ honorable possible Solomon Ajede ajaji dikuni shi na okpowe maka ni ya na-enwe ye osancha moroso amoze na-efe yarishi na brusi elu ọbụ onye ka ọdụ ọ na-achọ ọchịchị ọchọ na ifere ka ọsọ daa ye ka ọ bụ ife na-ewesi okwu kete ka ọ dịkpọ na-enwe obodo nne ka ọ jụgịdawe shi keka na anọ ajaji isiokwu ya na-enwe ye dị na-asụ oyibo n'ime kparụ ka akene iferisha na-asụ oyibo bụ shi ndị ụkwa akpọ dị n'ebe ndị soja dashi n'ebe ya bụ ndị ụkwa akpọ dị ibebe ndị bịa n'ebe anọrụ dashi n'ebe ọsọ Ukwuani ndị nwe ka anọ ajaji ya dịshi na-asụ oyibo kenụ na-asụ ọbụna sancha mụrọshi nwanyị na-eri Ukwuani eri n'ọnụ n'ọbụ onye Ukwuani ajaji isiokwu ụwa ba akpọ Eziokpor ba akpọ Umuebu ba akpọ Obiaruku atụ ba akpasị Umukwata bọla bidite n'ime ezonum dasarị ajaji ni wasu anwụrụ kpọrọ sana ka na-ata inu nna anyị dị chọrọ ka ọ jụwe shikabura ezigbo ife bụ nsogbu kenu isiokwu kere ka na-eso anyị n'Ukwuani trumpet efo enene bụshi waba akọwa bụ Obiaruku selu national delenu Umuebu ba akọwa shi Umukwata ba akọwa shi Eziokpor ba akọwa isiokwu akọwa tọwọ wee kwuo shi na oyebe ye sọbụghị si ikpe dị ọsancha mara shi ikpe dị na onwe ife a na-azọ ekwuo meri n'ịkparụ ka m n'oge ga nne mkparụ ka shi onwe onye wee gwanishakwari n'ebe ọ nọ onwe onye bịa n'ebe anụ n'ọrụ onye ọzọ akwaba ọrụ na ụlọ akwaribo etinye n'isu iji ajaji hariji oge kena na-ekenegiri onye bụ local government chairman shia mbene n'okwuke na ọkpọni maka onike nwata ya na-ebibi oku na-ewere oge kene na-agwa sonye ọbụla na-eso akpati onye Ukwuani trumpet shia nwe ndidi na anyị nwe na-akpara ụka ke wewere ọnụ wee kọwa bụ ndị nnala anyị ekwokwu ndị shi n'obodo ndị mkpọ nefa were na-abịa ịkparụ ka aka ekete ka wewere ọnụ wee kọwa na Ukwuani ka ọsancha dị n'izu nọ ajaji na-agwa sonye na-eso akpati onye Ukwuani trumpet sha biko okoji kenitie n'ọsa efufu ebe n'ebe Ukwuani adịne wee mara ife menini n'ime local government secretariat sise na okike onye ka ọdụ bụ onye bụ honorable Solomon Ajede ajaji na-agwa sonye ọbụla na-eso akpati onye Ukwuani trumpet sha biko ka obi ka na YouTube channel Ukwuani trumpet na ọfọsụ ji Ukwuani trumpet na ndị tie n'efu na-eso Ukwuani ka ọsa anyị ncha mbekwute ndị ji oge kene na-agwa ọsọ Ukwuani ekushi meye si Ukwuani trumpet bụ ka ọsọ Ukwuani anyị asọrọ ọrụ na-arụ onye kpọ na anyị ya ka anyị na-eje ya arụ n'ọrụ anyị ka ajụfashiko ka arụ ịkpọfe anyị si anyị bịa anyị amarụọrịsị aka isi anyị tie n'efufu ikeri anyị na ya kparụ ka ajaji na imekparụ ka kene onwetu na-ele mfụ na ya n'uche mmarụ dịta bebe elemeni nwe mfụ na ya onwe beteni Ukwuani trumpet ajaji na agwa ọsọ Ukwuani so biko kwa wolo ofe obi na ofe dike na agbani mọsọ anyị ncha ajaji dịbenye n'ụbọchị kawo ana ike na ọsọ ncha onye wene ba da ya share gwara.
Is the issue of series of what I call press interview. All of you are granted from different clan to different clan. All interviews have since been lifted and is creating tension in the local government. I have since received series of questions from state governments on why some clans in Ukwuani have decided to be addressing press, even when some of the major issues has been addressed by the Delta state government. We do not know whether these persons want to turn here to war zone. But I do know that if it metamorphoses, if it gets to that level, all of us here, all of us seated here, will not have peace of mind in the entire local government. So I have decided to call this meeting to know exactly what is our problem. Is it that some of us have received license from God that they are going to live forever? That land all of you met, and definitely all of you will sit and live the land. You are giving the charter district. I've throughout 2 days ago, I've been listening to the old conversations. And it doesn't actually add up that at this stage in the issue of Ukwuani, where we have issue of the Fulani headers attacking us. None of you have gone to the bush to make declaration. Where we have our young lads, our children, some of them are taken to drug consumption. And none of these kingdoms or clans have come out to make publication against drug consumption in the local government. None of the clans have decided to grant interview to say that what these our children is doing is destroying their future. Nobody has done that. None of you have said the stealing, the cultism that is happening. How do we go about it? So the thing is troubling the government. The thing is troubling the very respected people of Ukwuani nation, both in diaspora and those of us at home. If you look at the way the clans are positioned in Ukwuani, you must run into each other before you get to a particular point. If you are living in Umuebu, you must cross Obiaruku. If you are living in Obiaruku to the east, you must cross Umukwata and Akuku. You are going to Zoro, you must cross Eziokpor. Everybody is just together. What is the issue? What is the issue that we can manage? The conversation is getting tough. Your room when you see the Eziokpor. I want to first of all thank you profusely because you know your kingdom have been very, very peaceful for me, under this administration, both my first and second tenure, your kingdom has been under your watch. And that is why we decided to invite you. I know that Ebele does not have that in this history, but we've invited Ebele and Eziokpor to be part of this conversation. Somehow, some of the interviews they granted, they've had cause to mention these lines. But as a means of introductory speech for you people to understand certain things, when I resumed in 2021 for my first tenure, the documents I met in council already delineated the place they call Ukwuani local government into 9 clans. These clans, as we speak today, is still in the books. There is no Supreme Court authority that have said the place they call Ukwuani local government, that they have increased the clans to 30 or they have brought it down to 5, as it were. The issue of ownership of land is an issue that is very, very sensitive. It's an issue that we must tread carefully in trying to deal with it. I understand that some of the arm of the issues people are contending are already in court. What is the essence of the declarations and the press interview you are granted? Why not wait for the court to give you your position? Why are you pushing the younger generation? Because the conversation about the youth side in Ukwuani is the issue of land. That is not our problem. The major problems we have is that we have teeming youth population and they don't have job. Apart from the fact that they don't have job, majority of them don't want to work. There is issue of moral decadence in the society. And these people we're talking about form part of the subjects. There is issue of drug consumption. We have had a series of meetings here. We have re-emphasized that point. There is the issue of courtesy we are dealing with. There is issue of Fulani headers. With respect to the way you displayed yourself in those videos and the way you are quoting on the things you are quoting, if all of you move into the general position where the Fulani disturbing us and make declaration for Fulani people to leave, some of us will have said, yes, we know what we are doing. Let me hear very clearly what seems to be the trouble of our very respected traditional institutions in the local government. What is prompting you people? That in all your congregation, all of you were singing songs of war. You have forgotten that all of you are the same people. All of you have forgotten that you have been living in this part of the world where they call Ukwuani peacefully, and everybody has been coexisting. Is it that the record you want to create, those of you leading now, is that after you are passed on, you will say that in the world when you are alive, you are able to create big war that looks like that of Gaza? Before I hear from you, well, I understand that this whole thing started from the interview granted by the Obiaruku clan. I do not know what is the problem of Obiaruku clan, because you people have a lot of things to solve rather than embarking on media media publication and all that. And some of the, maybe perhaps some of the things people said there is what they're trying to respond to, and maybe because the way they were thinking that the only way they can lay to rest is to respond on media. And by so doing, this is gone into archives. I have taken time to read all the process defined in the court. There are facts that are not in dispute, to the best of my knowledge. And one of the facts that is not in dispute is the fact that we have 9 clans in Ukwuani. It's not in dispute. Secondly, it is not also in dispute. For instance, the problem they are having between Obiaruku and Umuebu. It is not in dispute that the place they refer to Obiaruku in Obiaruku clan, that they migrated from Umuebu. They are children of certain family in Umuebu who now migrated to stay in where they are, stay in Obiaruku. That fact is not in dispute. They are from Umuebu by the ancestral position. The people in Obiaruku have not said they are not from Umuebu. I do not think that is a contention. But if they are left Umuebu and they have established here in another clan, the law does not, the contention does not also mean that the people here who left Umuebu should not have their life in this place. Because every community, every society, they have where they came from. It is also not in dispute that the people of Umuebu left Eziokpor from the stories you are giving and the things that we do as Ukwuani. From the findings we have been making before we call this meeting throughout the weekend. It is not in dispute. Umuebu people who also live in Obiaruku land have admitted both the video and on ground that they are from Eziokpor. Those facts are not in dispute. In all the contention you are contending, nobody is contending all that. It is not also in dispute that these areas we have been talking about for about so many years now, all of you have been living in these areas. All of you have been living together. It is not also in dispute that these areas, they have been having their Obiaruku for some time now. There has been government that has been formed in Obiaruku. Because as far as we can remember, for some decades ago, there has been Obiaruku of Obiaruku. There has been Obiaruku of Eziokpor, who is said to be the senior son according to the publication he made. In the enclave of the Akashana people. You have not rejected that. You have not also said that you are not Eziokpor and Eziokpor are not brothers. You have not said that. You have not said Eziokpor and Umuebu are not brothers. You have not said that. Those ones are not in dispute. The only thing that we are not seeing by the spirit of your publications is that those people who left are not saying that since we have left, we are in this land, we are not on our own. We say, no, you can't be on your own. You are still our children. Until you die, you will remain a boy. And this issue, during my administration, both the first tenure and second tenure, this issue has gone to the deputy governor's office under the instruction of the governor. And these issues have been laid to rest. I have thought that when Obiaruku committee deemed fit in their power to say that they want to make publication, they will have also known that there are rules of engagement. Because there are comments you make, it will people will want to respond because they are not foolish people. When the title of Umukwata, of Umukwata, was made, first it was, what is it called? It was Amai. What am I kingdom? transformed to the monarchical system, from gerontocracy to the monarchical system of governance. The law that created the Obiaruku of Amai, the title was deleted to, they brought in the Ajede of Amai. If you go to the, that is what, once you read the opening introduction, you say the title of Obiaruku of Amai is deleted to create the Ajede of Amai. That's how the Ajede of Amai title was created. And the law made him the paramount ruler of the Amai clan, which you can also refer to Amai kingdom. Eziokpor, it is the same process. The Obiaruku of Eziokpor title was deleted as the paramount ruler and restored the Ezi of Eziokpor. And since that was done, the Ezi of Eziokpor became the paramount ruler. They moved to Umukwata. Umukwata of Umukwata was created. The Obiaruku of Umukwata was deleted in the law. They moved to Umuebu of Umuebu. They say the Obiaruku of Umuebu is deleted to create the Umuebu of Umuebu. And this creation of this monarchical system, those four kingdoms, they are not in this route. The people have since accepted their traditional law, they have moved on. The areas that are remaining, the 5 other clans that are still operating the gerontocracy system of government, the rulership by the oldest one, it is still in sway. It is still happening. The Ajede of Amai, for instance, cannot go to Eziokpor and decree in Eziokpor that this is the position and Eziokpor who are. So if these facts are not in this book, what is the problem? If the problem is the issue of the land, that the Eziokpor people who want to live the Eziokpor on that side and come and meet their children, that is Umusume and Ubikwe, and I say that their general farmland up to where imaginary is sent because the boundary commission has not been able to do the boundary on that area. That the people of Eziokpor now, the Obiaruku of Eziokpor, will now move to the other side and say, okay, my children, you are here, but I want to let me sell off all your Togo because you are my children. It is another conversation if people have that understanding. But that we're in Ukwuani will continue to cause issue. I expected that as regional council, all of us are supposed to put ourselves together. Man talk to man, man understand, because nobody is going to be forever. What we are doing is just a temporary thing we are doing in life. We are just for visitors here. This title of this and that. When you man eventually fall, they will just drop you without a title. But now that we are still living, there are procedures, there are protocols. As a council chairman, I cannot run to Umuebu or Eziokpor and begin to say I'm a council chairman, then I begin to insult the traditional council there. I will be a foolish man. I will be the greatest foolish man. But if I reason with this officer will say, this is what my kingdom has stated, and everybody is fine. What we do is to implement what he has said. It's okay, we'll support you, sir. But the position of council is not to make law for everybody. It's to implement, look at what the legislators have done, look at what the committee are thinking. Is it in line with the law? Is there going to be any confusion? We provide that atmosphere for everybody to tread on. But I think that the greatest conversation in Ukwuani now should be centered around trying to sensitize our children to leave drugs, trying to sensitize them to leave courtesan, trying to see how we can partner with our children in diaspora. If we have community assets, it is not for people to sell community assets and put in their pocket. It is to say, let us sit down, community have asset. How do we sell it? To get maybe a cottage industry, to employ our youth. Communities can do that. There are traditional rulers doing that. The traditional rulers doing that. I've had calls to visit some Eziokpor Majesty, part of Umukwata is hotels in Lagos. Majority of the people employed there are Okpara people. That is private thing is doing. But it's employing people. That is a conversation. That is a conversation. So I've spoken about. I will call on the Obiaruku to tell us, because they started this issue of the. Let them tell us what is that angst, what is the angst, what is the problem, so that I will now move to Umuebu. I want all of us to understand that government is not interested in those who does not want peace. Government is not interested in them. Because where there is peace, you will see development. Where there is peace, naturally, you will see everything where it goes on. Even in all religion, including the Agbanje religion, they don't preach war. No, that's not to speak generally. I'm not trying to take that as a basis. They preach peace. Even when they are dancing, those things they are dancing, They don't do it among men's war. Or they want to drink their Fanta, all those things they do there. They don't do it now. They do it when there is a peace existing. And I feel when Umuebu come, it's okay. A go of Umuebu, we invite all the children, they come and pay. Or he moved down to go and visit his children. That is a peaceful coexistence. And with greater respect, when I came in, even before I met His Royal Majesty one-on-one, when I heard that a sitting administrator who have toured around the world have been able to look at the dichotomy in religion as an ambassador and all that, what I told myself is that this whole thing is going to be very peaceful for me. And with greater respect, he executed that within the Umuebu issue, because the disposition of the both Umuebu and the Equator family that is bringing peace in this general area. It is told them. They are not seeking some support. But those of you that call yourselves Akashada people, all of you are tearing apart. You are tearing apart. When you're supposed to synergize and be the strength of each other, you're losing, you're explaining your weakness to the public, and everybody have known where you are standing. What are you people doing? If they say let not travel everybody away and give all the land to one person, only you go struggle Ghana for that. Struggle here, only you work for that. So please, I want us to have in mind that this meeting that I called them that at the end of today, everybody will fire back to their clan. The issues we may find out as you are speaking, because I want to get each of the clan, I want to get a representative to tell us the true position of things, so that we sit here, we don't walk around it and have a drive, so that our children back there will understand that nobody is ready for war. I talk to you now. If you go to Obinoma now, down to Obinoma Obabe, what delayed me is that there is an issue in Owabe farm area now, where they said, oh yeah, whatever, platform want to go and move in without concluding with the community. There is a serious issue there, and that's what I'm trying to put to rest. So if you move now by these conversations people have heard on social media and all that, there is tension. The Umukwata issue, The recent Eziokpor Umukwata issue, do we need all those things? Some people say, okay, the boundary is at the junction, Otakbono junction. Some people say the boundary is at there. So if I give you the boundary, if I buy land for them, you will go pursue me for them. Or if Igbo people, because Igbo people don't buy all those places, I will go pursue them there. But in Nigeria, no, they have acquired the property. There is already a transaction. So I think we should set our priorities right here. I don't think this thing we're doing, I don't think we deserve it now. So please, we'll hand over to Obiaruku. I want to get a representative for them we address the issue generally. Let me know what exactly the point, because what I saw in those videos at jamborees are statements that I don't know where the citizens are coming from. But now that we're in this meeting, I would like us to put up some character, the character that reflects that of Ukwuani. We have not had this kind of connected community war where everybody will be at war with each other. So please, who is speaking for Obiaruku?
I'm Ben Ijoma.
Please, let's listen, please.
Ben Ijoma is my name. I represent Obiaruku clan. When we get to this point, first and foremost, I thank the chairman for this meeting. It's a very good one. My address to Ukwuani Trumpet was born out of our meeting with the deputy chairman, deputy governor. The clan, Obiaruku clan, both the people here and in diaspora wants to know the outcome of our meeting at Obiaruku, at Asaba. And I decided to let them know the true position. And what I said in my address is the fact that transpired at Asaba. The Ukwuani Trumpet man asked me a question during this interview that do we have boundary with the people of Umuebu? It was based on that I answered based on the document, the 1988 Gazette, Bender State of Nigeria, 1988 Gazette. In that Gazette, which is applicable to Delta State, I said it clear. I was not envisaging war, and I was not inciting war. I was not inciting any problem. That based on that Gazette, it is encapsulated that the boundary between Obiaruku and Umuebu is in Ajede. Then we have another boundary where Dino, that's Dr. Umuebu, where the equator of our mine, the first equator of our mine, built his annex, and also in Umuebu. Those are facts. They are laws. It is gazetted. And that is the reason why I quoted those laws. I am not talking about natural boundaries. And that is the basic reason why I referred in my address that when Abuja was created in 1991, on the 12th day of December 1991, that the law includes the Zuma Rock, where the Zuma Rock is situated, as a federal capital territory. But the people in Niger State said the Zuma Rock is situated in Niger State. But what the Gazette is talking about is that that area includes the federal capital territory. And I also go further to say that when Asaba was created as a state capital, that Ibuzo, Okpanam, they were encapsulated as the state capital. Even when that law is not talking about the natural boundaries. So I gave those as example based on the Gazette that is available. Until today, if any lawyer is going to file action in customary court, Obiaruku for instance, and mention land that is situated in these areas, the opposing counsel is going to object that it's an urban area, that they don't have jurisdiction. Even my learned friend, S.I. Ekeruchi, is aware of that Gazette. I gave it to him. And they have been using it. That I'm talking about the law. Just like the Delta State chieftaincy law that made 9 clans in Ukwuani. That is the law. I'm talking law. I'm not talking about natural boundaries. So I did not incite war. And I am not intending to incite war. So it's just to make it clear. What did I say? I said that, like what my learned chairman here have said, that the state have adjudicated on this matter before now. And there was a document being signed by Ibrate, which says that Obiaruku is a separate and distinct clan from Umuebu. Those documents are there for the eyes to glean at. Even a blind man will see that document. Immediately you give the document to a blind man in his hand, he will see it. And the deaf have heard that. So it is not my making, it is not my say. I am not talking about natural boundaries. We are not disputing the fact that the people in Ward 9, Obiaruku people, that the 12 families there, I know we're not disputing that. It's not an issue. And as a lawyer, I cannot be disputing matters that is before court. At Asaba, I said that this house, the deputy governor's house, have adjudicated on this matter before now. And the document has been passed. And I read the document out there. With utmost respect, that matter has been previously adjudicated. It's res judicata at Asaba. So the deputy governor also reaffirmed what his predecessor have said. I've never said anything wrong. Just most of my people are clamoring that they want to know what we discuss, because it's just a delegation of few was sent to Asaba. So that video was not even orchestrated by me. I was taken unaware. I was unaware of that video. But because I am ready anytime as far as that issue is concerned, they are all on my palm. That's why I have to address them. If it's in November, I thank this house very much.
One of the issues that was raised in Asaba, Deputy Governor's office, is that they are trying to create a kingdom inside the kingdom. And that is what can spark off even war at any time. So that was the reason why I even addressed that issue, so that the whole world will know. 5 years ago, or 4 years ago, they tried to create a palace, an Obiaruku palace in Obiaruku. And because most of us were not in that meeting, in that Egwari that day, at that Ogwa, when the news came, there was a spontaneous reaction, especially from the youths. Perhaps if some of us were there, we would have been able to.
Who was creating the palace?
The Ebu of Umuebu created a palace there. So there was an immediate reaction. Along, I think you were the youth president. Yes. So youth mobilized. Just because some of us were not present.
Is the palace still there?
Yes. They dismantled it. They dismantled that first one.
Okay. If it's not there again,
there's another one now. I'm just begging you, since we want peace, just be patient with people. Because we're out here so that we can heal it. Now, the reason why that thing was curtailed, or why some of us were able to now just painfully manage the situation, is that the Onotuku that was suspended in Obiaruku now moved to Umuebu, aligned with the Ebu of Umuebu. And that's the most respected Onotuku. It was the Onotuku of Umudike in Obiaruku until that problem arose. So he was suspended. That's Onotuku Onuku of blessed memory. And there's no way anybody in Obiaruku will toy with that man, because all these issues of Presco, herdsmen, and the rest of them, they were at the forefront of the fight. So there's no way Onuku will be anywhere and you find a new Obiaruku boy or man or woman react negatively. So we were sort of, try to tolerate that situation. Now, and he has gone back to join our ancestors. Naturally, we thought that now that Onuku is gone, that they will advise themselves. And one person, when we're in the deputy governor office, stood up when the deputy governor demanded that we should have, just like the chairman exercised here, that we should introduce ourselves. We all introduced ourselves up to when the Onotuku of Umuebu, this director that is seated there, stood up to introduce himself as from Umuebu. Then another small boy, Isa, that stood up behind me, rose up and said, his name is Isa, and he's Onotuku of Obiaruku, Umuebu. When the tension there was between the Ebu and Obiaruku clan, so we couldn't take it. Personally, I could not even take it. I didn't even know when I asked him never to try it in his life again. So that is a man like Baba should not took up. Just it's not the
Please, I need you to guide you.
I'm just telling you my mind.
What is begging us now? Sorry. Hello?
Sorry, sir.
Hello?
Because we cannot be pretending. We cannot keep on pretending.
No,
So sorry. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something.
I'm sorry.
I understand you said sorry.
I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something. You don't refer to people as small people. To somebody that
He's a junior chief now.
Let me tell you, let us respect each other.
I'm sorry.
I am not in the habit of. Let's not look down on people. I've echoed this point severally.
It's not even in my.
I've echoed this point where nobody here. I don't think I said it when I started that I don't know if some of you now have license to live forever. Why you now live? Try as much as possible to make more peace, make friends. I am telling you, so you are referring to the Monotuko Yuku now. It's no longer here. There are a lot of people that have gone, not to Ajede. So, but I need you people to respect people for who they are. I do not want us to talk down on each other. Because the way you are speaking, if you have his own time to speak to, you want to talk down on you. And this place will now, let us respect people. Even if you feel that you are huge more than him, you are bigger than him and he's small, or he's a small boy and all that. So let me give you an example. Some people have said that the council chairman is a very small boy. But I am not sitting here as by the grace of God, as I'm still here, all of you here are my children. And I have to play the fatherly role. I have to play it. I'm not talking about my age, I'm talking about the chair I'm sitting. You understand? So people, you should remind that you are before your father here.
I actually apologize to the house. It's not in my style. For those of you that know me, I don't really do that. I play with children too. So I'm very sorry. So the problem is that when that issue arose at the deputy governor's meeting, the people seated there even pointed it out that our Ibu of Umuebu came with 2 Onuchukwus. It was pointed out, and then I think they emphasized on that. But as I'm talking to Kedewunko, they are still doing that. And those of us, I might stand up, you might think that I'm this type. I my chairman, please believe me. So just help us to appeal to them that for us to have peace, they should just dismantle that intention.
The next point, having heard from Obiaruku, I would like to, because in summary of what people are saying, when the Chase spoke, your basis of speech was that the meeting at Asaba with the deputy governor. This meeting I'm calling as a follow-up meeting for the purposes of implementation. This place does not form a bill for what we discuss in Asaba. What we discuss in Asaba is binding on this office. Those new areas that we'll be looking at are the areas that we feel that there are potential issues that may generate conflict. It's what all of us are going to sit down here and put us together and resolve. This meeting is not intended to divest whatever rightfully belongs to any clan from them. This is not a meeting that is summoned in the form of trying to steal things away from people. But we are trying to tell us that, please, let us understand that as we tread on this meeting, the paramount thing we're looking at is peace. That's what we're looking at. So please, I would like to get somebody from Umuebu Kingdom to make general, your Royal Majesty, sir. Who is speaking?
Mr. Chairman, sir, please, all up to go observed. Really, you have already pointed the issue out. When we came from Asaba, we have no intention to address press.
Meeting.
Neither did the people governor ask any of the community to address press. Now, like the issue of the press, we said that or let me say we went into press. We have no intention. We went to refute what Obiaruku stated. Like what he said, some people were calling them from the story. When you look at our refuter, took us almost a week plus. Because when our children wanted to react, His Royal Highness called everybody to order, please pipe down. Until messages were coming from here and there. Because if we keep quiet over what the barrister stated and other people stated, especially the chief stated in that press conference, it means that we accepted them. So what we did in that particular place, we went to refute what Obiaruku was claiming. Now the issue of talking about clans, Sabla is a clan, Ogba is a clan, Osuli is a clan. They are all gazetted. Food for thought. We don't want to go detail. So in summary of what my barrister said, we refuted what they said, which is not true. Now coming back to that Ebu is creating a kingdom in Obiaruku. That is a pure lie. Now, the last thing I can agree with me. Before Ebu came in, there have been existing Obiaruku in Obiaruku. Why? Because of issue of Ulutuku sheep. Osoloku, if I'm not mistaken, Osoloku was one. Then Osa Obaka was one of Ulutuku. Because of some reasons, people who believe in the cause of Umuebu decided to be meeting at Osoloku's palace, which is the call Umuebu. Yes. The call Umuebu, sir. So now those kingdoms have been existed. What caused that the division was the issue of Olotuku Toso between Chief Echikeme and my daddy Odogu. So those kingdoms, those two Okaluku have been existing before Israel Highness came in, and they have been maintaining it till tomorrow. So the issue that Ebu came to do something in Obiaruku here is a lie. And you agree with me? If you go to that place that meeting, it's purely the Umuebus, those who believe in Umuebu. We don't want to go further because this case is already in the court. So the issue in the court, I was surprised. It's just like what I was saying. That I was going to react, but when I look at it, that going to react on a matter that is in the court is straight out of court. I was surprised that a lawyer can come up and address a press on issue that is already in the court. So we refuted what they said. We don't have anything to say anything again. Okay. But those things you're saying is a lie. Chairman.
Executive Chairman, sir. Royal Majesty's present. All protocols duly observed. Yes, indeed, Ijoma mentioned of his res adjudicata. One, urbanization. Urbanization leads us to a body that's Obiaruku Urban Development Area. So, stating that Mondosai ended the urbanization.
Please, I did not mention Adonishaka.
Then the issue of urbanization is struck out.
I understand what you made mention of what you said. But at the end of this meeting, I will give you direction.
Okay. Then on monarchy and gerontocracy, which you accepted as a learned man. Gerontocracy, that is the issue of the Opanku. Before you become an Opanku, you will qualify. There is a Ajede of force that qualifies Opankus. And none of these Opanku they represent were qualified by the Ajede too. That is why I said the king is just being liberal, or whoever in Ajede political bloc is being liberal. Because if you want to institutionalize an Opanku, Ajede brothers will be there. That is mark of peace. And none of them were there in their institutionalization of Opanku. So the Opanku that are parading is null and void. That is one point.
Chairman, thank you very much. The chairman, in his initial remarks, said that he called this to find out what is the issue of Ukwuani, especially the various press interviews granted. Well, my PG has responded to one point that Umuebu never went to the press to make any statements as such, but to refute what was said I don't know if the chairman was aware that they were going to do that. Obiaruku people were going to address the press on what happened at the But after the press interview with Obiaruku people, Umuebu did not respond until about 7 to 10 days. We did not hear any statement from the council asking Obiaruku for anything. Despite the fact that from what the chairman said here, and we may not have told all the truth. You see, the problem here, because the chairman wants to know the problem. The problem here is twofold. One is that our politicians are playing politics with everything. They don't want to tell the truth. All aiming at votes. They say Gazette, that is not, doesn't reflect traditional boundaries or whatever. And I'm happy that the chairman has said that whatever is in the Gazette did not divest any community of its assets. Obiaruku is a clan. That does not mean that it is owned by somebody. The problem today is that our politicians want to take Umuebu land and Eziokpor land to do whatever they want to do. They call it a clan, Obiaruku clan. Does it mean that the clan does not belong to anybody? Umuebu people have always said that Obiaruku land area is owned by two communities. Umuebu community, Eziokpor community. We have been in court for 4 years now, 5 years, asking that the court should declare what everybody knows, that Umuebu land or Obiaruku is Umuebu land. Because our politicians want to take our land from us. You may hide under the guise of the Gazette or whatever. But that Gazette did not divest Umuebu of its land. Gazette is only for administrative purposes. It can, the clan or ward or anything can change any time as the government deems fit. But our land is our land. And everywhere you cannot take people's land for granted. We are seeing what almost packed up worry. It's over land. This one crossing this boundary, this one crossing this boundary. But in Ukwuani, it's our politicians, some politicians in Ukwuani that are causing this problem, gaslighting the place by trying to take Umuebu land and Eziokpor land to create a kingdom. I don't know how that works. You see what is different from Obiaruku and Umuebu land is Obiaruku. This council where we are sitting today is Umuebu land. We gave the land to government. So are you calling a clan to take the land from us? And I'm happy that the chairman has said that these cases are in court. But why are the politicians, what are the politicians fixed? Why are they? Honestly, your predecessors, both at state level, had said that anything in court cannot be discussed. Let the court handle. But you people don't want the court to handle. I don't know why it is important to oppress some of the communities. Because this is pure oppression. Using political power to oppress the people. Why? You say they shouldn't talk because you're in power. You want to take Umuebu land? Obiaruku people took us to court
Umuebu to court claiming this land. Why don't you ask Obiaruku to finish the matter in court? Let the court declare them the owners of the land before you say anything. But no, because you have political power, you want to oppress more people. Why? They are dragging more people up and down for nothing. Everybody, we're all Kwani people here. Everybody knows that this land is Umuebu land. And you say we shouldn't talk about it? Because Umuebu is an open area. The people who are living here are the people who are living in Umuebu. They have a suit in court saying that Umuebu land, Obiaruku land is Umuebu land. And they are the people here, Umuebu people. You don't want to allow that case to go on. Because you want to create a kingdom with other people's land. Why? For God's sake, why? This is becoming something else. And when people are talking about violence, you people don't say anything about it, either privately or publicly, showing that you are biased in favor of them. Otherwise, when somebody is talking about violence, they said this thing, and I want to repeat it here. My question was that you talk about violence, who is going to fight in Obiaruku? Is it Umuebu people here fighting Umuebu? Or Umuebu people fighting Umuebu people? Or fighting Igbo people? Who is going to fight? Who? How many compounds, these people who are causing this trouble in Obiaruku, how many compounds are they? Are they in the majority? No, they're not in the majority. It's just that they have the political power, which they are using to oppress the people. Please, we are in court. Let us preach peace. Let everybody maintain peace. That is what the governor has said. The deputy governor has even said. Peace. Maintain the status quo. Everybody go to your house and stay. The matter is in court. Let it proceed. But no. No. And this is, I believe, this is what will bring violence if you don't properly handle. Don't encourage other people to talk about violence, because nobody knows the end once it starts. Nobody. You don't know who will live to see the end. Other people, who are the other people? Who are the other? Or just few, because we say we should not be telling too many histories. Because when you begin to tell histories, you will say what you don't like to say. If you say you are not an Umuebu person and you are living on Umuebu land, then what are you? Or because we accepted you, is that the issue? You want to take our land from us? Please, this matter was in court, has been in court before you came here. Allow, and you're a lawyer, allow this case to proceed. Maintain, your duty is to maintain peace in the local government. Obiaruku people say so many things, and you reiterated the part of it here, that the sense of traditional rulers are selling land and putting money in his pocket. Who sold land and whose land was sold? Who sold land and whose land was sold? How did you know that the money went to private pocket? And you mentioned it here. I view that to be very, very unfortunate, honestly. Because you are our local government chairman. You are in charge of this local government. Your duty is to play the fatherly role which you played here, which is correct. If two brothers or two children, your children are quarreling, you call this one, what is the problem? Don't ever show yourself to be biased. You have the political power, you can oppress. That's okay. That's okay, you can oppress. You have the political power. But what is right is right. Umuebu land, Obiaruku is Umuebu land. We are going for peace. That is why Obiaruku people took us to court, and we are in court with them. Umuebu people here in Obiaruku, the 12 families here, are in court, saying that they are Umuebu people, and Obiaruku belongs to Umuebu.
that matter is in court. You know, you are aware of all these things. Then why forcing these things? Why not go for peace so that Ukwuani will be developed as we are developing it? Ukwuani is developing. Why is it that Obiaruku people, the few people, are just trying to unnecessarily influence you? The deputy governor has said that we should, if you want to have a king, you can have a king, but follow due process. Fine. Yes. No. Okay. Follow due process. Well, I'm just taking the summary of what the essence of it. But the cases in court should proceed. He said as much. So if cases are in court, what do people say? Is it not to maintain status quo? Please maintain peace. So in summary, my chairman, you know the cause of this problem. You, of course, we identified Obiaruku as the people that started this press conferences. I don't know whether you talked to them privately, but to my knowledge, you have not said anything. And from the remarks you hear, you made here, you are a politician. Sometimes you talk, you will want to say the correct thing. Sometimes you come back to say the other side of it. So we don't know where you are. I know where you are. So please, before all Ukwuani people, I'm appealing to you in the name of God. You are our chairman. Be neutral in this matter. Because you know the history. You were born here. You met your father. And you know the history of Obiaruku and Umuebu. Nobody's going to tell you the history. Umuebu is not asking anybody to dismantle his administration. Obiaruku here and there. That has been there and it will continue to be there. If two people, any place at all, if two people are quarreling, factions, they have the freedom to meet wherever they want to meet. Freedom of association. You don't just go and stop somebody because you want to please somebody. The DPO in Obiaruku before, when this matter had started, he said that as long as this matter was in court, maintain status quo. Everybody should meet in his house. Wherever you meet to, because you're a faction, you meet to discuss your problems. You don't say because the council supports you, then they should can't stop the other one. No, that's against the law too. My chairman, please, talk to Obiaruku people. Let them maintain peace. Because you need peace to give us development. Everybody voted for you to be chairman. So don't oppress anybody. If you have a political career to face, everybody will vote for you to take you higher. So don't divide your people. Don't divide the Ukwuani population. Don't divide the Ukwuani population. Please, in Jesus' name I beg you, let there be peace. Talk to the other people. Talk to the other people. Whether you know the other people, you know the plan I'm talking about. Talk to them to maintain peace. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. You know, like I said earlier, we have to be managing ourselves. In your speech, you made so many everywhere that maybe perhaps you don't know me too much. I don't run away from issues that comes as a matter of assignment here. Whatever will happen in the future will take care of itself. But I'm very surprised that you are not able to put up the things the way they are. I told you that this place we are sitting, we are not on appeal on whatever that has happened in the south. What we have come here to do is to implement what Assert have said. I have all the documents. I will forward it to each of the clans at the appropriate time and the security agencies. I wouldn't want to be held responsible for issues that are straightforward. You are a respected king, and I will continue to respect your story. And God forbid that we make some mistakes. But I do know that from the time we started this issue, there has not been mistake. Everybody has been filing and moving ahead. But for you to accuse this government and people that you have called that the politicians want to take land, politicians don't take land. Maybe you fail to understand that there is a government. There is a government. A government is formed. And when the government is formed at 3 levels, there is federal government, there is state government, and there is local government. Maybe I need to emphasize that. And these governments at intervals, they come in to make sure that there is peace among the people. Issues that you people cannot resolve in your traditional, at the traditional council, we step in to help you people resolve it. I do not think in doing that, that will amount to your very convinced position that the politicians are taking land. Why are the politicians taking land? Nobody has decided otherwise. There are laws that are guiding processes. And that is why you saw that when I was speaking, making my introductory speech, I said that I'm happy because in your steel as an ambassador, you may have been familiar with a lot of documents. The issue of gazette is not, gazette does not originate from the council here. Gazettes, for the purposes of understanding, are official documents that emanate from certain point. And government cannot be appropriating and reprobating at the same time. You have not been able to agree that the documents delineating the place we call Ukwuani into different clans is a document that is binding on your kingdom. You have not been able to agree. I think that's where the problem is. Otherwise, as a council chairman, I do not think that I've sat in any forum to make statement that any part of Umuebu land should be ceded to Obiaruku people. I was very surprised in your opening speech when you said if the chairman is aware of the comments they made. The chairman, even though I am the chairman of the local government, I do not fly within on the market closing procedures. What we do, my style of trying to serve the Ukwuani people, is to ensure that when issues come up, as they are coming up, I try to approach them, to kill them, so that they don't overwhelm us. And that has been the style. Eziokpor, we support me in this, because there are many issues that he has helped me solve in his area. So many issues. Even when issues were trying to break between Jono and Amai, he was the one hosting the meeting until he was able to arrest the situation. Is there? I do not know what is the problem between just Obiaruku here, that you as the king, you are their ancestral father by virtue of the law. You can't arrest everybody and put everybody together. And you are saying that the politician, what is the politician? What do they want to do with the lands? This issue of sales of land was raised in Deputy Governor's office. And at the concluding aspect of it, they say that, yes, since every matter is in court, everybody should stand still. I saw you made frantic effort to tell him that at that point, you should abandon it. But he said, you should go in. Continue with your court issue. We're not deliberating, I'm not presiding over court issues here. In my speech, I said, let all of us try to see how we can create peace. That is the prayers I've been praying you understand? So really when I say, I want to plead with you. Politicians are not interested in Umuebu people's land or any other land whatsoever in Ukwuani. The land is not going to go to the politicians. And nobody is using any authority unjustly. Nobody is using any authority unjustly. Unless you are saying that as a local government council, when any issue concerns Umuebu, we should not talk to Umuebu because Umuebu is bigger than the government. Okay, that's what you are saying. But if you communicate that to me, I will be able to put it rightly. Otherwise, if there are issues that pertain to Umuebu and they are in my domain as a council chairman, I should be able to take steps to protect lives and property. And maybe you may not understand the government of what we are saying. Because I live in the street, I don't stay in a Sika the way you go to. I use Okada and move in the street. I can confirm that I've been moving around over the weekend. I use Okada to move around the local government. But you people may sit at the car owner seat and they will be driving you around. It's different from me. I partly with Okada. I know what the honorable people are thinking. And I don't want those things to get to that stage. Whether it is Umuebu, our children in Umuebu down that way, or your children within Obiaruku down this way. So please, Your Royal Majesty, politicians are not trying to take your land, and they will not take your land, not under our watch. Nobody is taking anybody's land. In all the meetings we have had, nobody has said that they don't want the court to determine what that is. In fact, in my opening speech, I said that some of these issues are in court. What we are saying now, allow court to do, don't heat up the system, don't grant interviews. That is what I've said here. You don't want to listen to us. You have gone to Deputy Governor's office. In those meetings they had, they said all clerks should remain in their clan. Remain in your domain. And the document giving you kingship, the document was state government that gave you the kingship. And when state government was giving you the kingship, their thinking is that you are the book of Umuebu. And I told you that there's a document delineating the 9 places, 9 clans. What is there to the ordinary simple person can understand this fact? Until your judgment in court now comes out, now says that as the king of Umuebu, all the Obiaruku is under you. What is the judgment there? Then you come and take over. But as we speak, sir.
I and Ukejani, Umukwata, and Umuebu. Yes. If I didn't, Ekuko, I got to know of 9 will move. But when I was gone, the rich she, I didn't become Onyaro, one way better, I know you again. What you want? You know, got it. I know move. I was an Umukwata, but so put out. I'm riding move to share.
My Highness, Opera Observer, Chief Secretary Richard, by name. I'm the Honor Chief of Eziokpor. Before this gentleman here, they are my brothers and friends. So, when we were at home, then suddenly we saw this thing. When I'm not speaking in a million amigos, even though our children in diaspora, they are the people that call us what is happening. Like what my gentleman said. We refuted it. Say, man, I didn't know I should know Ajede. Why should Umukwata, my learned friend? He's my friend. Learned man. So that, okay, it's not learned. But educated. Ajede. Said that he's well read. Okay, sorry, sir. It's an educated man, sir. So, sorry, sir. So, we're there. Like here we are sitting now, like what the Bull of Umuebu Kingdom have said, and even this very land here belongs to Eziokpor and Umuebu, but we are not disputing anything, we are not dragging anything. Even like I was in Africa for many years, 26 years, I built us there too. Warriors are not even claiming the land, they belong to government. Even for government for each way, and he will pay your Mariana church way, I judge. So I went there, I saw him, he was making speech with some of all these our chiefs, even including this man, that Israel no more is in Umukwata, is a boundary between Umukwata. Which means here that we Umuebu and Eziokpor give government is another Umukwata, even though no Bioga, she is straight as a but no Umukwata. She can I be careful? You know our children these days. The way we reason is not the way they reason.
Yeah, so you said.
Ajede. And Eziokpor Winuche, anya bịa ndị sị dewe anyị yi nwunye ụbọchị na na so ife a na-ekwu a na-agwọ eche ebe na-ekwusi oke webe ya mụrụ ọkwụ n'ebe ọkwụ n'ịda ya ka gị na-edechi refute wee so ebe na-agba oke iso ahụ mmadụ agba oke so echekwa mara oke na we tuke n'ụkwụ mba wapụ egburu ụkwanị nọ so that's our main aim of coming here so ebe na ọ na-ekwusi ebe oke so ọ bụ oke and anyị na-azụ anyị and anyị na-adị n'ikpe before now kenu kọmọ iṣẹ́ wa.
Okay, Meles. Okay, give us no more water.
Ezudo, you been logo. Ochirigwe, you been logo. My executive chairman, all existing protocol hereby observed. Thank you so much. My brothers from Eziokpor have said very well. Executive Chairman, as far as you know, Umukwata a peaceful community or kingdom. We don't have trouble and we don't make trouble. We live with our neighbors like that leaf used in tying salt. Salt is sweet. The leaf is itself is sweet. Umukwata people has no problem over our neighbors, neither boundaries. Yes, on 14th August we had what barrister said. So we have to react to counter what he said, because where he mentioned to be the boundary, even if urbanization, the natural boundary is there. No, you didn't mention Ebede. You said late Majesty or Sir Agnes, and that is almost the middle of Obi number there. So we thought it wise to react to counter what he said, and we know even Eziokpor and Umukwata, we know a natural boundary. It's not against it. Who is denying it? Just denying because maybe what is ready, sales of land. Even if you buy land from another person's land, it can't remove the natural name of the place. Everybody should understand that. So, my chairman, we can freely go to Eziokpor, freely go to Umuebu, freely come to Obiaruku, anywhere in Ukwuani, because Umukwata kingdom is a peaceful kingdom. So that is the message the Majesty, his subjects, asked me to deliver in this meeting. Thank you.
Obiaruku community gathered and made communication. Umukwata heard it and responded. But in their response, they didn't narrow their response straight to address what Eziokpor said. So they now made another statement against Eziokpor. Eziokpor too now sat and said that, well, this statement now that they made now is affecting us, so we need to react. So Eziokpor now reacted. But again, after Eziokpor, before Eziokpor reacted, Umuebu has also watched the statement of Obiaruku. I said that this is a statement too. You need our reaction. According to his rumors, they waited, they cancelled any app now. Nobody cautioned anybody. The only option now was to go and react. So everybody now was now reacting from Eziokpor's this.
My own is right as a conservative.
So that is why we are here. And you see, just a single statement from the internet, you see how it generates. And I tell you, because a lot of us, because there's no time to talk. If we give everybody time here to talk, you will see that some of our people from diaspora, what this thing has cost us this period, the psychological trauma. Because our people who are not here, we feel that the way this community have come out to react, that war may break out soon in this area. Yes. And that is the way a lot of people are taking it. So, as a government that is closer to people, we need to step in to bring this harmonious relationship. So that I don't want to commend the Eziokpor people. You truly acted like this. You see, your statement was very clear. It's devoid of animosity. You said, we don't have a problem with these persons. But it was what they said that necessitated our response. But however, this thing is not so. And that is the way to go. And when they stood up, they said, His Royal Majesty, the Umukwata of Umukwata, I've also sent them to tell them that there's no cause for alarm.
Obiaruku to observe. Ajede, and they say, I think this meeting was timely, and I shall appreciate for that. When the Eziokpor interview, a baby name was mentioned, there were a lot of costs. But the baby as a community, as a club met, we said no, we're not going to invite our brother. If you started us to I wanted to go during the installation and the party. But we refused to make any comment on that. I think Barazil Joma is the cause of all this issue. But even when this man asked him questions, he would say, no, we don't have problem with our brothers. But going further, say Mr. A, Mr. C, that's what generated. Because Umukwata, yes, we're brothers. How can you not say, we don't have a deal with Umukwata? It's alien. But thank God, we're able to manage the whole issue. Like our Ebu said, that politician took people's land. It's not true. We're council here, we've been here. Even when we want to give out that land to the technical school, we call a stakeholders meeting. I don't even want to approve it. Ebu and I'm communicating. So, we want to give out the technical school here, the land. We call stakeholder meeting, including all the kings, everybody. Yes, Ukwuani, we're here to power of authority, but the land belongs to the entire Ukwuani. Let us agree that. No, let me I said, you don't need to. You are not the chairman here. I'm on my feet. I'm not going too far. No, but what I'm saying, government is continuing. He said we should give advice. Okay. He said government continue. We'll be here, and if chairman is here today, before chairman, we're here before now. Yeah. And anything we do here, I'm also a politician. We'll call people, how do you do? This is the only community, what do you do? Everybody agrees to give part of the land to them, which we did. My chairman, sir. I think Ebu made one suggestion. I think I'm going to align myself with that. Because this council is named Ukwuani local government. And we know how we acquire this land. Even when we're here too, a lot of encroachment, we know how we settle it too. We know how people are calling to settle it. I think I'm going to align with him. What is Akachera? They are one. Go internally, call one-on-one, let people settle themselves. When land budget comes up, know how you communicate. Because there's Umuebu, there's Obiaruku before this place was created. And there was no problem then. So this is boundary, you have to stop. Yes. But we have a traditional land. But if you have a traditional land, if you want to make a case of that, there's a way you make it to avoid trouble. I think that's our position. The chairman.
Yeah. Chairman, sir. Royal fathers of Azert. I am Chief Prophet Editor from Ajede.
Before Christ.
I want to start by saying, sir, one major thing I noticed since we started this meeting is the way and manner we report our outcomes in meetings. sincerely speaking, if really, like today's meeting, our people know that we are here, if they asked, what is the outcome? The way you presented it is the way other people that are not there will take it. But if you leave the tone in which the meeting is speaking and garnish it, by so doing already you are igniting fire. So if we fail to tell ourselves the truth, we will still be haunting ourselves, because those things we think we have solved will come back to haunt us. So therefore, I am pleading to the entire Ukwuani people here. Let us see ourselves as one. All this idea of fighting, creating tumor everywhere should be the things of the past. Our young guys, the way they are growing now, they are like wildfires. If we don't control what we tell them, many of us are close to the grave. We are the younger or youngest here among you. If our fathers here should be concerned majorly issue of land, even check within the Ukwuani periphery. Are we covering it in the aspect of farming? No, that is answer. But many of us are ready to die because of it. If our forefathers that deforested all these lands handled it this way, many of us would have not gotten any place to settle. So I am begging. We are not even saying that your property is not your property. But the way we go in getting or reacquiring all this property is what we are saying. I have to use that language. In protecting what you have, you want everybody to die. And if people die, what will you gain? So I am begging. The many people are begging. Gone are those days. Communal, if you check around now, like what Papa said here, many of us intermarry. Your daughter is marrying an Umukwata man. Umukwata man is marrying Eziokpor woman. Eziokpor woman is marrying Umuebu person. And these are the same people who want to go and fight. We are begging. Let us call a spade a spade. And again, the law. I am begging.
Which law?
You. The chairman said it.
Exact law.
The deputy
I put it to you.
Chairman, Mr. Chikomba Tasango said it here, but people will think maybe it's attacking you. It's not attacking you. We are begging. The way we report this is the way the thing go. Because people in the diaspora, there are things they will see, they'll begin to call this, call that, to inquire what is actually going on. Some that doesn't even know the root of how the thing started, we even garnish. And this garnishment is what is causing all this problem. So please, we are begging. Udoka Chonyo, Udoka Chama, Elewe Puna, all your level, Ekebere Adam, and you do your Malago, the Sherman.
To encourage us that I don't think that anybody here would not want peace in Ukwuani, because I know that before I became council chairman, in my legal life and private life, I've had interaction with individuals, and I feel that everybody, the first point is that everybody here wants peace, and I want to thank you for that. The issue that has to do with the Umuebu of Umuebu and Obiaruku, my respected chief, I want to plead with you very seriously that arrangement, let us put a stop to it in line with what you are doing in the court. If generally at the end of the day the judgment comes and is in line with what you are thinking. You can go on and establish. Maybe that time I will be speaking like a stakeholder, I will not be talking like executive chairman. I don't think that the judgment of the court will come next tomorrow. But in order to create peace, it is most, for me, I think it is a role reversal for us to say that there is a Umuebu of Umuebu in Obiaruku clan. If you look at it on the surface of it, it looks like somebody is trying to generate issue. But I don't know that we can manage this, and that's why I'm taking time to beg. And I'm pleading for whatever it is worth. Let us play down on that nomenclature because it doesn't find its feet anywhere. But as the court looks at what people are doing and the court is able to give decision, because we believe in court, people like us who are legally minded, we believe in the prophecies. Justice Oliver Holmes, he said, the prophecies of what the court will do and nothing more pretentious is what the law should be. And that was the definition. And we have keyed into it long ago. And the court will prophesy and the people will follow the prophecy. So let us wait for the court to do the needful. Otherwise, we will be creating a lot of issues. I want to plead with you. That does not stop you from exercising your right to gather. You can meet. The law permits that. Chapter 4 of the Constitution make it expressly clear that people, there's freedom of association. I do not want to preside over a government where freedom of association will be preached. But in doing it, we must use our sense. Because it is the discussion in exercising those freedom of association that pulls you out from the law. What I mean is that even when you have the freedom of association, the freedom does not include that you should begin to exercise or do things that naturally does not fall under the law. Otherwise, we will be looking at unlawful gathering. These things are always provided in the law. So I'm pleading, and I know that as I'm pleading to you, the major pleading will go to His Royal Majesty to please help me manage that, so that I will not go front and back. You people now don't believe in what the government will do. That's why you have headed to the court. Because if before now, if this issue was resolved, there was no reason to go to court. But I still believe that some of these issues, items in your claims, in your merit or summons, I know that when we look at it very closely, and that is what I will be doing in my next edition of meeting. So look at and see how we can resolve all these things. We can settle out of court. It is in fact, the modern legal practice now is encouraging alternative dispute resolution as the major way to pull out from this whole record. Because you see that after a court give decision, it is difficult for people to come back again. It is difficult for people to come back. But when there is friendly disposition, when there is friendly agreement, and it is reduced into rights, people cannot say that this is a product of what we agreed to do. And you see that's why Nigerian people agitate that the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria does not reflect the will of the people. Because they are saying that the Constitution is not a product of what the people say. But the preamble said that we, the people of Nigeria. So there has been contention around whether it is we that can. So that is why I'm pleading that in this case, let we look at those things that are in the pleadings and see a common way we can try to do that. But we'll do that later after this meeting. But for now, please, let us be able to look at the boundaries so that we can navigate in line with the principle of Onyena's Agaroke Azubakuko. Having said that, I want to plead very seriously with our brother, the media practitioner, inclusive all other media people in the world. you know, there are publications that seek to negate a particular claim. That is why you see that majority of people who are in this media practice are not trying to push out the positive aspects of their area. If I'm staying in Lagos, for instance, and every news I see that comes out from Ukwuani local government is negative, even without having been to Ukwuani, what I will conclude is that Ukwuani local government has also problems there. So I want to beg our media practitioners to see how they can censor and guide some of the things they push out. Every community in the world have one issue or the other to look at. That is not to say that we should not brief people what is happening in our domain. Because a lot of people are in diaspora. These persons need information of what is happening to our people back home. But in some of the things we push out, we won't censor them. Sometimes when you want to send out things and you see that some publications may generate issues, you may need to look at it and try to rephrase and rephrase so that you can say what it is. I am saying this because I do know that the Inquiry Trumpet is doing a lot of job in the Ukwuani local government. I'm a fan of what they are doing. Because before now, it is difficult for you to aggregate stories or get stories from the interland, even within the Northern nation. But now, just a click, you can get what's happening in Otago, local news that concerns our people. Without pleading generally to the media community, that there is need for them to invest their time in marketing our people, not to demarket them. If you go to the larger Northern nation, you see that our people, what they are doing, they are demarketing a lot of our people. Just one last example. Somebody came, one of our sons who are living in diaspora. I came and did a publication, and in the publication, they tried to play down on our son who is the deputy governor. And after I read all he said, one question came to my mind. As Sinopa people who have been agitated to be in big government position. The first one we got as Sinopa people. Local people are ganging up to bring that person down. And it's not that if they bring that person down, they are going to use them to replace the person. And I said, okay, let us look at the merit of what you have published. And when I look at the merit, I find out that since far back as 2013, the person of the deputy governor has been in the business of running a scholarship for the public. With his hard-earned money before he entered government. And when he entered government, he continued with the process. On record, as at 2014, he has employed well over 500 Ndokwa sons and daughters in federal colleges of education and the National Open University where he worked. And when you see this kind of person, you see that the person does not have the interest of Ndokwa people. And I consider that as demarketing our people. And if you narrow it down to the chieftaincy, political arena and all that, we sit down and cast aspersion on our people. It is not the best way to go. So that's why I'm using this opportunity to call on the media, through the trumpet, that our people should engage themselves in doing things or publishing things that will put us forward in the entire media space, but not to continue to demonize our people. We are not so bad. We are not that bad. I know what played in the counter publication. And this brings me to the point that I have to very seriously, very, very seriously advise the Obiaruku clan that they need to, as a matter of fact, begin to put themselves together. It is as a result of what they published that has brought us to this point. It's not the thinking before now, it's not the issue of counter or not counter, everybody was on their work. I don't know, chasing your Obiaruku, please, guide your people very well. There are times you will have good case. The way you project the case or you present it will make the case look like you are the bad guy or you are the bad person. In your speech here, you said yes, you are doing the right thing because you are really not the Gazette, you are doing this, you are doing that. I agree. You are really not the Gazette. This Gazette you are talking about that you are reading now, the people in the public, they don't understand what the Gazette is. The way they will understand it is not the way. You are speaking to an heterogeneous audience. An heterogeneous audience is an audience that is made up of the educated, the uneducated, the rich and the poor, the market women, all they listen to these things. The way they will understand it is different from what your intentions are. So if I'm before the court and before my Lord, and I'm speaking like a lawyer, my approach will be embedded in the law. The court will understand me better. But if I come to where market women is and continue to quote the law, I will set confusion in their midst the more. So that won't brings me to the point that you must know the time to speak law and know the time not to speak law. Because I tell you for free, your audience determines the way your speech will go. That's true. If you carry the speech you are supposed to deliver to professors, to marketing, at the end of the day, there will be no communication.
They will stone you.
There will be no communication. That is why you see that a lot of people are flying. I am not trying to look at the merits of the Gazette or look at that. But what I'm trying to tell you is that it is what you did that gave rise to these multiple responses, and it's causing our people pain. And I want to advise that we drop the idea of Israel. Finally, we have resolved here that we will continue to live in peace, we will continue to live in harmony, we will continue to respect authorities, we will continue to love ourselves. We have also said here that we will continue to all the clans in Ukwuani that will continue to exist in our clan, and nobody should leave his clan to carry out any act that will cause subordination in another clan. We have stated that in the particular case of Obiaruku and Umuebu, there are issues in court, that everything that borders that issue is leave it status quo until the law is maintained, pending when the issues will be discharged in court, or pending when eventually the council intervenes, whether we can amend or settle the issues out of court. We have also stated here that as a people, that we will continue to respect those values that we are known for as Ukwuani people. I don't think that there's any other point we're forgetting, but in case if we're forgetting another point, I would like us to raise it. Otherwise, we will be signaling the end of this meeting.
Ajede nwunem.
Ajede.
Biko kebe fai.
Ebuzo nke kene kuma afọ gidai na kene ndị Ukwuani. Efam bụ Chukwu nọ m n'azụ Ọsọndụ. Umuebu secretary to the local government, Ukwuani local government council. Ajede.
Mbele gida nwunem. Ozuzu n'uzu n'ikete kaba anya ya.
Okay, ozuzu anyị zu n'ikete. Boshe achọrọ ka anyị neba n'asụ okwu ndị nọ na-aga n'ekpete onyinye ya bụ ndị ndị Igbo na-akpọ social media. Obodo dịta bebe n'Ukwuani na-apụsa na-ekwusi ike bụ okewe. Achịrị chairman kwusi kete so na-akpa asawe ncha ka anyị na-ebanye n'okwu ka. Mbene.
Ajede. Anyị da na-ebe oyibo okwu n'ụsọ Igbo. Anyị da n'ịnụ oyibo anyị na-achọchi ka anyị nụgara asị ọnụ na ọnụ Ukwani kụrụ ji ni pụsa n'ime ozuzunu
ife anyị ji na-ebusa gịda bụ shi asụ obodo abụ clan asa clan ndị a ekweriwo shudo dawo so onye nọ na-anụ ọgụ ke chairman dị bụ adụ asụwa ọdụ bekwu keye beke ka mkpa bụ shi asa obodo ndị a asa clan ndị bịa na-emete ike n'ikete ya bụ Obiaruku, Umuebu, Eziokpor, Umukwata specially ka ọ bụrụ amọchi ebede ya bịawa ejo na ma bịawo beke nọ ndị ụzọ bụ akpọgara fa Obiaruku, Umuebu, Eziokpor, Umukwata wee kwerewoshi okwu adao shudo dawo ka ọ bụrụ shi ife dịka na-ekwu na ife ndị na-ekwu ni na ekpete onyinye ya bụ soshal midia ife nọ na-ekwu bụ shi ife wesa na asị ife ndị na-abụ ife ọnọchozi Obiaruku bụrụ ụzọ bụ ekwu ebe n'okwu dị bidoni na-ekwuchi elu n'ekwu na-ese obele ka ọ dị o ya asị ya wesa na asokwu ndị na the chairman ekwu ese fasị na enine ọgwa onye bụ ọnọchozi Obiaruku shefe asị na enine n'omenije ebudokwu keno na ekpete onyinye ya bụ kero na-akpọ soshal midia shefe asị na enine bikos asụ obodo ndịrị na ya bụ asa klan ndịrị na jileta na ịkparụ ka wechasị ife mmeni bụ shi esi eshi ọnọchozi Obiaruku ya bụ nzọ bụ ekwu chasụ ekwuchikwu ejeshi ekpete onyinye ji ekwu kewe mbene
onye ndụmọdụ ke ọnụ dị yenuwe ke chairman yenuwe
ndụmọdụ chairman yenuwe bụ shi agụgụ ndị nọ amane ife ndị nwe nọ na-ememe bụ ife na-ewesi okwu n'obodo ife na-ewesi ikpe n'obodo chi gbasa ncha bụ ofu ife ndị nọ na-ememe ụka dịka ọmashi echi ụmụ anyị na-adịbido na-esoro okwu ndị nọ na-ekwu ịba mara nwunye ndị nwunye ebido na-egbu egwu sifekenu wee meni wee be mejuwe ọgwakpọnwachi onye bụ ọnọchozi Obiaruku chi ya bụjesi na sife ndị na sibe ka ife kenu be mewe n'Ukwani abọdụmọdụ onye nwe
aji enwene m mbele gịda oge ke na ọsụkwa na dị na eke wuru ọnụma were ike newe
Ukwani shi na-ebene ndị na-agwa n'ụzọ onye bụ executive chairman enwewe kene na ya bụ ọga m n'ebe na mgbe na enwe meshi bụ secretary to the local government nwe na-abụ ekene na ya asọ Ukwani si mbenene n'elu nọ na-eme na sọpọt anyị mbenene
o nwere ndụmọdụ ike ye ndị Ukwani banye n'ife na-achị n'ezugara kịta
dịda nke agashi n'ebe chairman gani ife dị ideshọ na-ewusi okwu na-abịa obodo ka anyị banye te ka anyị n'ime ndị chief enyi ife ji be kwushunu bụ chief ka anyị na-enefe anya obodo bikos onye tụnanụ shunu bụ ndị udo so na-arịọ wee biko most especially ndị chief chi biko ife na-ewusi okwu n'obodo wee be tie ka wee nke were shi na-ebe na shi na-adụ achị ndị kenyi ndị nụdịdashi uwe na kọntrol ufe ekpete onye ndị abụfe ndị oyibo kpọrọ soshal midia si mgboto gesi weba dị na-eme mmefe dịdashi ọ na-enwoke na-ewusi okwu n'obodo kasa anyị ta bi n'ofu n'Ukwani anyị bụ obodo udo kene ogugo nke okwu
aji gịda nwere isi agwari
yo
okay.
Yes.